What are y'all up to? Me, I'm up to about 35, 40 feet. Not at the top of the world, but near the top of the barns. Sandy. There's Lizzie. Oi! Checking it out. Lizzie's back there burning. Had a hawk come by. Took some pictures of the hawk earlier. Alright, well, let me get this crap done. Okay. Rust ground off, pressure washed. I got to paint the wood around those eaves, and next then is I'm trying to find out if the silicone that I got, if you can paint over it, or if I have to paint and then do the silicone for some of the seals and nuts and bolts and that kind of crap. Screws, I guess technically is what it is, but I don't know if I can paint over this stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna do the two levels, the middle and the bottom. The top, not getting there. All right, that Sunday is burned. That is a gone Sunday. And I did I got no footage of spraying the barn, but there's my Wagner. It's a 505. Took me a little bit to get it going, had to prime it, just took a little bit for it to get primed and going, but it finally got motivating. The last time I used it was when I did all the spray painted all the fencing, and I think that was like 6,500, 7,000 linear feet, you know, over a mile of fencing. But that thing worked right along. It worked well for the roof, but I had to figure out like what nozzle. I'd never done that before. Never sprayed this Lexington paint, so this was it's a lot different than that fiber paint, a lot less expensive. Like I did the whole other side of that roof over there, the lower and the mid section, with 1.5 gallons. And this is the paint that I had used. And this stuff was, I don't know, 80 bucks or so, a 5-gallon bucket, versus it's about the same price as the other. But that other, you get like 300 square feet of coating. This, about 1,500 square feet. So much more economical and quick. You know, brushing that stuff, that fibered paint on with the 3-knot brush takes for frickin' ever. So I didn't get any footage. One of the other things I did is I bought some extensions. So I had to put an extension on the gun. And I bought this gun. It's kind of a little bit more of a spendy, but it's a Graco. I didn't use it. I used my cheapo. This is a Wagner gun, but the problem I was having with this Wagner gun is it's got an oddball size here. Most everything is all 7/8, and so I had to get an adapter to go on this, and for some reason, as much as I sealed it and all with tape, it just kind of leaked. It just wasn't very kosher with stuff. But anyway, so I got a kit with 4 different sizes of wand extensions, and so I used one. I didn't daisy chain. I just used the longest one I had. And then for the tip, I started off with a 523, and I wound up using a 417. I think that 23 was just putting up too much paint. Anyway, it was a learning curve, but it looks good. And sorry, no footage of it. Just show you the results. But I got pretty much what I needed to get done within 3 hours, because today was going to be a shitty day. So I got it up and painted, and I got some, I'll go up and show some footage. I got to paint the around the dormers, the trim around the dormers on the other side, and that's that. So I'm going to clean this gun out. I got to take it apart and clean it up, and because this paint, you can't, like the fence paint's kind of like water-based. You can use water or mineral spirits, but this you can only use the mineral spirits. So it's kind of hard to run a mass quantity to clean the hose and gun and stuff out like water. Frickin' mineral spirits, it's like 22, 23 bucks a gallon. Yeah, right? So I bought this substitute stuff. That it's 17 bucks a gallon, but still, man, frick. So that's, you can't, at least for me, this isn't my occupation, right? This is just me trying to get stuff tidied up around the property. You can't just sit there and run a shitload of mineral spirits through the gun in an affordable manner, you know, because it just keeps getting more, it just keeps getting dirty. It would take quite a bit to get it to blow through clean. It'd probably take more than a gallon to get it to blow through clean. So anyway, I'm gonna tear this gun down. I had it soaking in this substitute mineral spirit overnight, so I'm gonna tear it down though and get it to the innards. And if I break it or can't put it back together, it's not that big of an investment. It's like an Amazon special, but it worked, man. It did the fence and did the roof. Took a little bit to get the, I guess you'd call that the needle housing or whatever, nozzle housing off. That was pretty much tight on there. Took this backing plate off from back here. These two little rods slipped in there. That little nut was holding it on. So now it looks like there's a, I went and got it, I fitted it. It's a 10, I think. Yeah, a 10 with this on there. So we'll see about getting that off of there. So the needle, whatnot, it just tapped out of there, out of this, out of the housing. So you can see a good, probably a good deal in cleaning this out. Tempting to. There's a lot of crap back here that even after running mineral spirits through and all, that there's still crap in there, which is to be expected. All right, well, I'm gonna put this in a little bit of a different container with some fresh, put it in that little stainless one, and put this doohickey in there and this doohickey in there. See what happens. All right, so now I'm out painting some trim. I still got to get up there and get the dormers. Goes in my way. sunshiny day. Fuck over there. Sunshine day. Fucking shit. Alright, I'm giving it a down and dirty on this trim here. That's for sure. Alright, you see what I'm doing? Alright, look where I'm back. Man, there's been a lot of planes hooking it around here today. Small planes. Don't know what they're up to. All right. Fuck. I gotta get this thing fucking back further. I'm just in a very annoyed mood right now. blind. Everything you said and do. Hey, it's a bat. Get up there. Stay up there, little bat. Alright, let's go down to that guy. Guess what time it is, kids? It's sand an entire barn roof with a 3-inch cup wire wheel. That's what time it is. Kind of sad commentary. And it's a windy ass day today, so I'm glad I got the eave stuff on the other side painted yesterday, because there's no way I'd be up with any elevation with this wind today, and with the slop that's in this thing. That would not be happening today. So sanding, and I put new patches on my torquing paints in the knees. Had some welding splatter holes and wear holes, but this stuff's pretty canvasy iron on. So let's fire up I Dream of Genie, rub the bottle, see if we get a little scantily clad Barbara Eden jumping out of the thing. Kind of doubt it, but you know. Well, actually, I don't know if you'd want a scantily cladded Barbara Eden hopping out. One, I think she might have passed away. I don't know. She was all the rage though back with the major. Major's buddy, he had the hots for Genie. Who knows what that guy would have came up with for wishes. She fired right up. No Genie hopping out, but a little bit of diesel. All right. How's that? That is, I don't know if you can see that. That's a new one. That's a used one. There we go. Quite a bit of difference, eh? And of course, that's a used greeny beanie. But now that I have a different method, I can use these harsher ones. So I'm not using this to go down the ridges, just the big open flat spots on the transition up there. So see if we get a little bit more length, time and service out of those ones. Then screen ones are softer. They're, you know, it's just like Brillo pad, Scotch pad, you know. But it's quite a bit of difference. But I will say, I've been using this one for quite some time. I used this on the other barn, and I used it on the other side of this barn, so that's quite a bit of use. So anyway, I got that little bit down there done. I got all of this to do. Ugh. Back to it. Wind is crap out today, that's for sure. She's fired up. See you on the roof. All right, I've gone through 2 5-amp hours. The 6-amp hour is just now crapping out, and that 4-amp hour is crapping out. So I got 2 fully charged 4 amps in the bucket and a 2-amp as an emergency. And so I'm gonna go put these on the charger, and hopefully the 2 5-amps I put on the charger are done. Go check it out. This one, the charger said it wasn't full, but it's got 3 lights on it. This one said it was full. So, back out. I've got 2 other chargers in the detached garage, but this works out. I keep a couple of 4 amps up in the detached because I have a few tools up there. So see how my oscillator's doing there. It looks to be at a different height. Yeah, kinda. It's supposed to. I don't know. They look about the same. Alright. Back up. Well, I'm in the midst of a battery swap. Thank you. The lock. I was trying to get the lock to... My left hand is getting weak. I've got major... I don't say major. I've got a number of issues going on with my back and neck, And I'm getting some noticeable atrophy in my left hand and my right leg. All nothing new. Wham, wham, wham. Alright, let's go up. So that's what I'm doing. I started doing this plus the first top half. Get this ridge done, then I can go put this disc back in the buggy, in the basket, and then I can just concentrate with having it. Alright, let's go I'm gonna go put this back in the basket. All right, that's done. All right, I'm gonna go put you away, camera, and get at doing this top half. You can see where I've kind of been with the top half here. Anyway, back at it. Well, here I am. On a rainy day, but time waits for no man, as they say. Fact. I haven't seen it wait for me to catch up or whatever. But I got to get the sanding done and the prep done, because tomorrow might be one of the last few days of a window to paint the top of this guy. So, trusty old I dream of Genie, and let's go up and check it out. Tools are, again, the DeWalt angle grinders. So I got to sand, I got this part here, but I got to sand this lower section, and I'm gonna have to keep the buggy down below me, because to get this bottom part right, I just don't trust. I don't have much room. I've said it before, it's just repeating. I don't have much room if something happens, if I slip. I don't have much room in this lower half to try to recover. Like if I slipped up there, I can get myself stopped, but not so much on this lower part. but also down here. It's hard to get this edge, at least the last couple feet from up top there. So let's start down there, and we'll work our way this way. See you in a few. All right. Hello, Rose. Goodbye, Rose. Pressure washer time. Hit the key thing down there. Don't turn the key, but just the switch. Turn this, just flip the switch. That's for this to start it. Gotta get this primed up, and it's my Wagner 505. It's an old unit, but it works, and so I got to get it primed up and motivating for action. So that is going to put that on up there using that. this is round 4. I've done 1, 2, the back side 3, and now this side 4. So that's been sanded and pressure washed. And that's a pain in the ass.
Come on. God bless it. Got to be up at a higher pressure.
It stops functioning if I don't have it up to a high enough pressure. So I'll pick you back up here in a second. So now what I do is I roll it to kind of smooth this out a bit, because this stuff just, I'm kind of like caught in between of being able to get a quality coat on, but not too thin but not too thick, because it just gets all wonky. If it's got too much on there, it gets goofy runs and just looks funky. But I found that after I spray it, if I give it a quick roll, it kind of smooths everything out. But we'll see. The finished product will be the proof. But it seems to look better now. I can show you a spot at the other end, because I wasn't doing this rolling technique until about the third panel in. All right, so now I got to reposition and do it again. And then I roll the top, so I got overspray on the other side because I was kind of spraying right up to the other transition, and it got a bit of overspray because I'm not doing that upper shelf, at least this winter, before this winter. If I do anything, it would be next spring if we don't sell the place by then. Shouldn't roll this stuff too much, but you know what, it does something with the aluminum and aluminum alignment, the flake alignment, and but I'm just trying to get this shit done. Today is like going to be the last day I think I can squeeze this in. I don't know, there might be another day, but during the week I got a job to do, you know, with my clients, the project I'm on, and Anyway, just makes it hard to keep up. Alright, so now spray time. I don't know if I'm going to be able to reach up the end up there. Stop there. Alright, so that's what I'm doing. I'm up here doing these dormers on the barn, and they look better. What would you call them? Call them 50 footers. They look good from down on the ground, but I'm not doing a rebuild, just making stuff look better. I got to put this is a piece of clapboarding, and I got to put a piece on up over there. But next, before the sun goes down, I got to go get the edge of that barn, the peak and down, and that's always interesting, fun. Okay, in a bit. Alright, I need to put that crappy piece of siding back on right up there. That side has a piece of wood clapboarding, so that's been there since we've been there. So, but that piece is missing, and I was going to put a piece of that clapboard on there, but I found this on the ground. It's beat up, but I'll put it up there and screw it back in. So there we go. Forgot to turn it on while I was up there, but got it. 2 screws. I should have cleaned it up before I stuck it up there, but you know it's there now because it's dirty. But that is up there, and I gotta do some touch-ups on this roof. I think I learned what they mean by the aluminum particles getting misaligned. And I don't know if it was the substrate, the other paint, i.e. that I covered, had something to do with it, but anyway, the other side looks much better. I think the lessons learned on this one is I used too small of a nozzle on the airless spray gun. I used 15 and they recommended 17 to 23. I should have used the 17 like I went to on the other side. 23 seemed to be too much. I think the 17 would have produced a better result. Anyway, we'll see. Yep. Genie beanie. fucking wide. Get out. Well, So nice and cheap one. All right. All right, I'm gonna shut you all off.